Welcome to our Thursday morning functional movement class. Just let Keith into Zoom and find your space, your standing space. Make sure you've got some room around you, so let's just do some rotation through the spine and just pushing gently side to side. And notice that I'm just lifting the opposite heel off the floor. I'm keeping my shoulders down and I'm keeping tall through the spine. And I'm looking in the direction that we're going. And just push through with that arm. So if I'm mirroring you, I'm pushing now to the left and then pushing to the right. Just soft. You can spread the fingers a little bit. So today we're going to continue our work on the hips because everybody's liking the hip work, hopefully, and feeling a difference from that. But we're also going to look at pushing. So here I'm just doing a gentle push side to side. So I'm pushing, pushing. And this is going to be our June challenge. The push. So we'll look at various different ways of focusing on pushing. And then slow it down and just give the body a little bit of a shake, move around a little bit, shake out a little bit, shake the legs out. If it feels comfortable, just tapping the heels into the ground and really get that vibration through the bones, letting the shoulders just go, letting the neck relax, soften and relax, and that space between the shoulder blades in the upper back. If you prefer, you can just use the knees, bend the knees and keep the feet on the ground. So just whatever feels good for you this morning, just to get some blood flow, some energy flowing through the body. And then slow it down and just feet about shoulder width apart, just a little bit wider than hip width. See if we can keep our feet parallel, heading in the direction that we're going for this. Just balance. Let the breath settle. Just checking with that connection to the ground and then also the connection to the sky. Three big arm circles, slightly different than maybe we've done them before. The palms are facing down to the ground as they flow up. Elbows soft, shoulders soft. Then we rotate, come overhead, and then down through the body. Just nice and easy. Palms facing down. Then rotate. You can look up if you want to look up. One more time. And then Gillian on Zoom just mentioned some of the stuff we did on Tuesday. So we can do this standing, fingers together. So you're just interlocking your fingers like that. Palms facing up towards you. Step out a little bit if you need a little bit of a wider stance. Coming to chest. Rotate. Nice stretch through the arms. Gently look up. And then rotate back down. So you're getting that spiraling, that rotation through the elbows, through the wrists, through the shoulders. And then spiraling back down. Breathing in. Breathing out. And in. And out. 2 more. In. Out. Keeping those shoulders down and heavy. In. Out. And we all have an intuitive, comfortable way that we cross the fingers. So let's just swap that and cross the fingers the other way, which might feel a little bit odd. So if you have your right index finger on top, swap it to the left index finger on top, and then just do a few of those the same. So in. Out. Just tune in with maybe the ribs, the back of the body, if you notice any difference, side to side. Let's do a couple more. If it's comfortable, just the breath, breathing in, breathing out. As long as the breath is smooth and rhythmical. And then shake out the arms. Shake out so you can come up and shake out and shake out, and you can let the breath go. Breathe in and breath in and breath in and shake. Right, let's get those hips moving. About shoulder width apart with the feet, slight turn out. And keeping the legs straight but not locked. Big circle with the hips. So really focus on those outside of the hips, pushing the hips forwards, side, back. Nice and slow, no rush. Remember when you're going back, keep that spine long and you'll get that lengthening through the hamstrings there. So you're almost like lifting the tailbone towards the sky. I can really feel my hamstrings. Lift the tailbone towards the sky. And what is nice about this lengthening is we're doing it with movement. We're not just holding a stretch, and also you're getting all of those lines of the hamstrings rather than just the back. So you'll feel it in different places as you move through, as the hips shift. And let's go in the other direction. So that hip socket is a ball socket. So you've got that hip joint, or you've got the femur, the top of the leg, in a ball and socket joint. So you just visualize oiling those joints, moving those joints. The more we get movement, the more we are unblocking any tightness, unblocking any energy blocks, getting the blood flowing, nourishing those joints and the muscles as well, unblocking any tightness. And with all of these moves, we're not pulling, we're not straining, we're just breathing easy into it. I think we've done about 8 more this way around than we did the other way around. But do what feels good to you. You don't necessarily have to count reps. Just feel what's going on in the body rather than going, oh, I've done my 8 reps now. And then rest there. Shake out if you need to shake out. We'll then go into the one, as Tom was saying, this is quite challenging because you can't actually see, you don't feel as if you're doing much. But now we're working really deep inside the hips. So we often just think of the hips are here, but obviously the joint goes right into the pubic bone, the tailbone. Getting that tailbone, there's a little bit of movement in the tailbone as well. So a good visualization is that I've got a little bit of weight on that tailbone. So I'm not physically tucking my pelvis. I've just got a little bit of weight on the tailbone, a bend in the knees in this one, a little bit of bend in the knees. And imagine you've got a weight and you're just drawing a circle on the ground with the tailbone. And also have that connection to the ground with the feet. Because yes, we are moving the hips, but actually think of the relationship with the feet, the connection with the ground. So you're actually pushing a little bit through the foot and feel the really subtle movement with the feet and the ankles. A little bit of movement through the feet and the ankles. So again, this whole idea of spiraling through the body. We tend to think of the ankles and the knees as hinges, but they're designed to rotate to a certain extent so that you can allow that spiral movement through them. And where we often get knee problems and ankle problems and hip problems is because they're so tight that we don't have this absorption or this spiral ability. Is that a word? It's a good one. This ability to spiral the movement through the joints. Let's go the other direction. And the more you do this, the more smoothness, fluidity that you can explore. So once you get into the idea of this working, put your attention on the feet. That's quite a nice one to do. And what's going on in the feet? Couple more. And then just come up to standing and shake out the legs. Have a little walk around just to make sure your hips are still there. Walk sideways, walk backwards. And you can also do that little bit of movement, the little bit of mobilization on the feet that we've done before. So you can walk on the heels. You can walk on the balls of the feet. When you're on the the ball of the foot here, really focus on that point right behind the big toe, a little bit further behind. So that big ball of the foot there and in towards the center. That point in Qigong that is called a bubbling spring. Really connect to the ground through there. And then you can walk on the side of the feet. Feel that nice length and stretch down the side of the legs. Obviously, if you've got any pain or if anything is hurting, then don't overstress or strain. And then inside, really feel bubbling spring connection. Feel that springiness, if you like. You can really focus on the arch of the foot there. Spread the arch, feel the absorption through the ground. We tend to wear shoes that hold the ankle, which is great if you need that, the support. But then if you don't use the body, if you don't use that part of the body, it's going to get weak. So if we're constantly supporting our ankles, supporting our feet, then the minute we don't have that support there, we're going to go over on our ankles. So the more you can strengthen the feet, get the feet working, the better. And then just balance there for the minute. So that has set us up nicely for the wide stance. So whatever feels comfortable for you in this wide stance. This is where you're sitting on your horse. So we're not going into a squat. You're actually again thinking of that tailbone dropping down, so a little bit of weight on the tailbone, so it'll give you a nice stretch through the groin area, feet in contact with the ground. Now let's do those tiny hip circles in this position. Watch that the knees don't start dropping in, so really keep nice and wide. You can just rest your hands there if that helps a little bit. Tiny movements. Micro movements make all the difference. Particularly for me, that tuck forwards is quite challenging. So again, visualize that ball and socket joint in the hip. Tiny movements. And again, don't force this. You can do it narrower stance if you want to do it narrower stance. Let's go other direction. Notice the weight as well. Are you preferencing one side of the body? Are you tending to put more weight on one side than the other side? You're putting weight in different parts of the feet. Here you'd most probably feel a little bit more weight through the heels. Let's do a couple more. And then safely walk your feet in, shake out. And again, have a little walk around, see how the hips are feeling. If you take a step, feel almost like that power from the support leg. So if we balance now on the right side of your body, you're almost doing that little spiral movement to step with the left leg. So I'm mirroring you, stabilize, step through, stabilize. Whoa, I can feel the power in that hip, and then swap sides. Stabilize, spiral through that opposite leg. Stabilize, that leg moves this leg forwards. Stabilize, step through. And then that works the same for when we are doing our leg swing. So I'm now shifting the weight onto, I'm mirroring you onto the left leg. This leg is going to do the work. I'm going to spiral with this leg, and as I spiral, I swing the opposite leg. So the support leg is doing the work. This leg is free. It's just like, whoa, yeah, open that space. So you've got to balance first before you swing. Balance, swing. Settle into the rhythm. And all the stuff we do and keeping tall here, that balance there makes a big difference, because if I'm leaning back or leaning forwards, I lose my balance. So it's about aligning yourself, your structure, with gravity. So strong structure means this movement can flow. As he falls over. Get into the rhythm. Really free up and open that swing leg, swing hip. Let's do one more each side. And then shake out. And just take a moment again just to balance there. Letting the breath settle. And then we will do our tiger squat. So starting off, don't think about the depth, don't think about trying to get too deep. Just focus on hips gliding back, but then you lowering your center of gravity. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just lowering my hips towards the ground. I'm not getting there and then tilting forwards. So I'm starting off, use that nice strong tension, good tension through the fingers and through the arms. That keeps the spine nice and strong. And then you're going down and then softly coming back up. Extend back up and down. And again, not forcing depth or anything. And really get that difference between strong here through the hands and through the wrists and through the arms, and then soft through the arms. Strong through the arms, and then soft. Strong. Tension and stress used in a good way. Tension, and then release and soft as you come back up. Focusing on the arms. It's two more. Just go as deep that is comfortable for you. Just lowering your center of gravity. And then rest there for a moment. Again, shake out the legs if you need to. Let the breath settle. Just going to open the door because it's getting warm. You only have to do a few of those and you can feel the heat building. We'll do the same thing. Tension through the arms, softness, tension, softness, but we'll also focus on the legs. So as you're coming up, I'll just show you first. Really use the leg muscles. Push, be strong through the legs. Squeeze the glutes, come up, and then you can relax and soften the legs. So let's focus on the legs. And then strength through the legs as you soften the arms. strength through the arms. And then strength through the legs. Arms, fingers, and then swap legs. So really squeeze the muscles around the shins, around the thighs. Squeezing energy from the muscles into the bones is a really nice way of visualizing it. Two more. Squeezing the hips. And relax there. You might want to move the hips around a little bit. When we're focusing on those different attentions, strength and softness, make sure you're breathing easy. So just make sure when you do the strength that you don't hold the breath. So just breathe easy through it. So all the time the breathing is pretty easy. Now we've done this before a while back. But we'll put a little push into this, so I'll explore it, I'll demonstrate it first. We go down to where you can get to comfortably, and then you rock forwards, so you see my heels are coming off the ground, you rock onto the ball of the foot, and then you just drop onto your upper body here, so you can then do a little push yourself back into that squat position, and then come back up. So we're just tilting forwards, putting a little bit of weight through our upper body, just a little bit of a give, so you don't have to do a big press up, and we're just rocking forwards, and then you're using your upper body to push you back, and then come back to standing. So you're in control all the way through the movement. If you can't get that deep, or if you don't want to go that deep to start off with, you can use a wall. So you can squat down towards the wall, and say I get there, I can tip forwards, and then I can, without banging your head on the wall, just push into the wall a little bit, and then come back. So that's fine, it's not about straining. If you have, let's try this, so say if you've got a chair or something that is obviously very safe, that it's not going to slide forwards, you can squat down into that, and then you can just rock forwards onto that. Now that's quite nice, a nice height to do, as long as it's not a chair and you're going to slide and fall flat on your face. So obviously be safe and be careful in how you do it. So have a little explore of that just now and see how that goes. So we balance, use the fingers, squat down, and then when you get to that place where you're comfortable, you just tip forwards, pop your hands on the floor, nice and strong and safe, rock forward so you put a little bit of weight through the hands, rock back so your heels are on the floor, so you can safely bring yourself up to stand. Now let's go again. Nice and slow, so you're in control all the way through this. If you get to here and you're comfortable to rock forward, you can just put your hands on the ground, shifting the weight through your arms, pushing yourself back so you're on the heels, so you're in a safe place, you're not struggling to get back up, and then you can squeeze the legs and bring yourself back up. Let's do 2 more of those. Down, rock forwards, back, safe and stable. 1 more. Rock forwards. push back, come back up to standing. As you come up to standing, nice big arm circle. Pop your hands on your belly, bring your feet together. Let the breath settle. Bring the breath back to the center. Bring your body balance back to the center. And we will finish there. If you've got a little bit of extra time just to do a little bit more of a cool down, because we've done some quite intense exercise there right to the end, just give yourself a little bit, few more minutes just to cool down, let the breath settle. If you want to do some bamboo in the wind on your own, just finish that off, that would be great. So we'll finish there. Thank you for that. We'll be working a little bit more on some more push work over the next few weeks for that June the 1st push challenge. Don't forget, if you've not already signed up, I'm joined by Linda tomorrow for a brilliant Qigong class for the Lunch and Learn at 1 o'clock tomorrow. So I know a lot of you, I'm seeing a lot of you there. Please do sign up, even if you can't make it, because then you'll get the playback of it. So it's going to be a great class. Thank you for your time and attention. If I don't see you tomorrow, some of you I might see over the weekend. I will see you next week. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Stevie.
Thank you.